I'm not sure about this. It's definitely the least attractive meal that I've made in quite a few months, but I was talking to Travis the other day, and he told me that I should try this out. And I've seen it in his videos, but I was skeptical of it. I think I got the wrong kind, but it's beefless ground something. It's meat-free, 2 fat, 9 carb, 4 fiber, and 18 protein per serving. I tried it by itself, the beefless ground stuff, these little crumbles of whatever it is. And they weren't that bad, a little bland in flavor, but nothing some Cholula can't fix. I can easily just clickbait this and write, I'm a vegan with a million question marks, no, or vegetarian, whatever groundless beef eaters eat. Groundless meat beef.
Groundless beef eaters eat.
It's the ultimate beefless ground, that's what it's called. We're just gonna call this, so my pre-workout meal is beefless ground and smashed sweet potato with some Cholula sauce. Brittany's actually picking at the beefless ground and thinks it's pretty good.
It's kind of good. I think
Right?
it needs seasoning.
It's definitely not as good as... Why am I opening the fridge? I gotta eat. I'm gonna talk to you guys in a minute. You don't want to watch me eat this. It's just...
It actually is good. I'm surprised.
Well, it's gonna be better now.
Oh, no.
I don't think I've done this on the channel yet, but I figured it would be something a little bit different, see what you guys think about it. So you just saw the whole breakfast meal and everything, and I just got home from the gym, and I filmed some random stuff in the gym using 2 different cameras, so the 70D as well as this one, with different frame rates, some with manual settings, some with complete cinestyle, which is a flat image, and then some with auto color. And I want to show you guys just the differences in how they look and how you can make adjustments to your editing. And I think it's really important to understand that editing style is going to be different for most people. You know, a lot of people, what we want to do is we see what we like, and then a lot of us just copy that. I mean, you've seen it with Casey Neistat, you've seen it here all over YouTube Fitness. People are shooting 60 frames per second, 120, they do slow motion, they slow down a song, and we all get very similar edits. I mean, Zach Kravitz is probably the best example of someone who's so original with the way he edits his films and makes it feel like you're watching a movie. I think it's really important to experiment and have some fun with it. So I'm going to show you guys just a couple of ways you can experiment with your editing and try and develop a style for yourself. All right, so what you guys are looking at here on the screen is my workflow. I use Final Cut Pro for the Mac, and pretty much what I want to show you is first the differences in colors. So what I said earlier about CineStyle, that was something that was actually developed by a company called Technicolor, and it's software that you can download onto your camera depending on what camera you have. And actually Brandon Campbell did a really good video talking about this for the Canon 70 and 80D, which you could check out on his channel. But I use the Canon 70D and I installed it onto that, and pretty much what it's doing is it's recording video images in log space, which just means that it's going to look really flat, really desaturated, but it's going to give you, the editor, flexibility to determine the color, the saturation, the depth, shadows, anything that you want. And it's really good for color grading. But this is something that I do just because I enjoy doing it, and it's fun to mess around with different colors and see what kind of picture you can come up with. But it's not something that I would say that everyone needs to do, because it's going to double or triple or quadruple the amount of time it actually takes you to put out a video or edit a video. But I just want to show you the differences. So what you see right here is going to be in CineStyle. So you could tell it's very flat looking. These are pretty much maroon pants, and it's hard to, I mean, you could tell that they're like a reddish color. The shirt is very pale looking. You can notice in the background, even the yellow walls don't look very yellow, and it just looks like a very boring image. So what you're gonna see next is going to be the same exact camera, but shot on full auto mode. So that means there is color, and the camera determines that. So now you can see what it looks like when you're shooting in full auto, and you could tell the real colors, you know, his green shirt, the yellow walls, the bright pants. Now, if you were to try and edit this image right here, it's not going to come out as good because you're not working off of a flat base. So pretty much you're trying to manipulate colors that have already been manipulated by the camera's auto settings. Another thing I wanted to mention was when I was shooting on the Canon 7DD, I was shooting at 30 frames per second. So normally when you watch a video or a TV show, it's going to be between 24 and 30 frames per second, and that's typically what the eye will capture, and that's the normal speed. So you could see that it might even look a little bit choppy, but that's pretty much what you're seeing in everyday life. Now what you're going to see next is shooting with the Sony RX100, and that's shot in full auto at 60 frames per second. So you could see the way I'm moving looks very, very fluid. It looks extremely smooth. It almost looks fake. Some people would say that it looks sped up, and the only difference is that it's shooting double the amount of frames. So instead of 30 frames in 1 second, it's shooting 60 frames in 1 second. So it's double the file size and double the amount of data, but you can see the effect that it's giving. So every single rep looks very smooth, and it doesn't look choppy at all. So real quick, I just want to show you an example of shooting flat and some quick color correction and color grading you could do to your video. So what you're looking at is the 70D footage shot flat in CineStyle. Depending on your editing software, there's usually a color correction tool. So on the right-hand side over here, this little rainbow, I'm going to take this under video effects, drag it over the clip that I want, and now I'm going to come up here to the color board, and this is where you can adjust exposure, saturation, and color. So you can make the image brighter, add shadows, highlights, midtones, all that by messing with these sliders. You could change the saturation, so now you can add some color back into it. So this would be none, obviously, black and white. This is shot flat, and then you can go ahead and add some with that. Then you can actually change the color itself. So maybe you want to add a little bit of a bluish highlight. You don't want to go too crazy with these because it's going to make it look very fake, but that will give you a general idea. So if I toggle this off, that's what it's going to look like flat. That's with a bit of color correction. So that's a basic way to do it. There are also some different plugins that you can get depending on your editing software. So this one right here, this S-curve for CineStyle, I could drop it on and it automatically did all the work for me. And now you're going to want to go ahead and change the amount of that. So you can see it's too dark if you go all the way. But if you bring that down a little bit, toggle that on and off, you can see a big difference in the image quality. It's starting to bring it back to life a little bit. I have all these different color grading presets that I could just throw on and then adjust from there. I actually made a few myself that I was having some fun with. So right there is the look that I want for this clip. You can see this is how it looks like with it on, and then we can go ahead and toggle it off. So it definitely adds a little bit of dimension, and it has that bluish kind of faded look. Now we're going to take the flat and compare it to the same camera using auto. So you can see this was shot completely on auto. That's flat. So if you want to achieve this look, you probably can by messing with different color grading and color correction, but I think it's more fun to kind of get your own style of color. So that's pretty much a very basic overview of color grading. One last thing I wanted to talk about was the quality of the footage. So what you see here on the Canon 70D, whether it's auto or CineStyle, it's going to look a bit grainy. So you can see the plates look a little bit fuzzy. My hat, my shirt, my pants, it's not very clear looking. And that's for a few different reasons. One is that I was using my wide angle lens, so the aperture doesn't open as wide, and I had to really crank up the ISO to get some light in because the gym isn't lit that well. So you can see the difference between this and then this, which is the Sony RX100, and you can see how much cleaner the image actually looks. So the plates have that dark black. You don't see that grain or fuzz, and that's because that can shoot at 1.8. So if you guys are really interested in all this camera talk, I'm not an expert. There's plenty of other videos out there on YouTube that you'd get much better information from, but it is something that I'm enjoying learning, and I would love to share with you guys. So if you want to hear more about this kind of stuff, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to make other videos on it. All right, so we're in a town now called Patchogue. So we're by the water. We want to take some pictures. Something I love doing, photography thing, and I also wanted to get some footage. But we hear Brittany just got these new sunglasses.
They're Key Australia. They're the high keys. They're the collab that Desi Perkins did with Key, her first collab. But if you guys don't know who she is, she's like a beauty and makeup YouTuber, blogger.
So everyone has a passion, right? Her passion, her big passion is makeup and beauty and all that. So I wanted to take some pictures for her. So we came here, and I told you guys earlier about editing and how you have to, you come up with your own style of editing, things that you like. When you actually enjoy something, you'll spend so much of your free time trying to learn about it, and that's what I do. Like, this is something I love, and I don't know, like this much I know about cameras, photography, and videography, and I want to know everything, so I'm always looking up videos, reading tutorials, and all that. Actually, here's a really good tool. For anyone who's into photography and you're not sure about manual settings, go on Pinterest, and there are photography cheat sheets that will give you the breakdown of ISO, aperture, shutter speed, all of that. I could do a video on it. Yeah,
on Pinterest?
Plenty of them.
That's
it's just
so
like
cool.
It's like an infographic. Gives you everything you need to know. But earlier in the video, you heard me talking about color grading and that kind of stuff. Now that's stuff you could do in post-production, but you have to actually capture the footage first. So my biggest tip is film everything. Film as much as you can so you have more to work with when you go to edit. Even if it looks like a stupid angle or you don't think it's going to make it into the video, film it anyway because you're not sure how you're going to edit things and it might actually fit in pretty well. So you get your footage and then you create a story out of that, and then your editing style is whatever it is that you want to do. So I'm going to get some B-roll footage. I got a little bit on the way here, just random stuff, and then I'm going to film a little bit where we are right now at this location. And I'm going to take all the footage in this video and just put some music to it and throw together an edit for you right now so you can kind of see that the footage doesn't always have to have a sequence to it. You could take stuff from later in the day, earlier in the day, and combine it all together. So I'm going to put together just a quick edit for you right now. So that was just a quick example of some random footage that I got thrown together, and then you could change the feel and emotion behind your story by changing the music, going more cinematic, going more action, putting things in slow motion. So I'm actually going to take a lot of those same clips I just shot, along with a few other random ones, and give it more of like an action feel by changing up the music, and I'll show you how that looks. So I hope I didn't drag that out too long, but I just want to give some new content creators maybe some ideas of how they can incorporate different styles into their filming, whether it be doing slow motion, different types of music. And what I want to show you real quick, I promise this is the last thing before I end the video, but I'm going to show you some raw footage and what it takes to actually get the footage and how you do actually have to set up some of these shots. So I'm just going to let the camera play and you can hear the stuff that we're talking about to show you what goes into actually making a video. It's not just not talking. So I had Brittany here with me and she was helping me with some of the filming, but you can actually hear us interact. So I'll play that for you real quick. Getting really close, getting further away. Come back right under my face now. All right, so now this is gonna be your focus ring, okay? I want it so my face is out of focus, but this is in focus right here. Such a piece of shit.
This is all new. This wasn't here.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing this. This is definitely brand new. I f***ed up when I was talking about the content thing.
You need me to hold something? Or film something?
I think you guys get the point, so I'm going to end the video off there. And I know this was completely different from my normal videos, but I enjoyed changing it up a bit and to show some newer content creators that this is your story. So you document and create whatever you want and just have fun with it. So as you saw, I messed up a few times. I was also trying to teach Brittany a bit about the cameras. So the next time that you see the perfect edit or video or even photo, remember that it likely wasn't shot on the first try and there's a lot that goes into it. So we all mess up and that's what makes it fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit that thumbs up button and drop a comment down below and let me know what you thought of it and what you'd be interested in seeing more of in the future. So thanks as always for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you all in the next one.